You're watching KMIR NBC Palm Springs. KMIR News at 5 starts now.
Now, whenever you're talking about elite athletes, especially at this level, any edge they can get, any fraction of a second, any quarter of an inch can be the difference between a championship and working for a living. Joe Chiani joins us now from Massimo, along with Dotsie Bosch, silver medalist from the 2012 Games in London. Let's talk a little bit about technology that you've come up with to give those athletes that little extra edge.
Sure. We've made a product called the MightySat, which is a Massimo set pulse oximeter. Measures non-invasively the arterial oxygen saturation and the pulse rate. This technology, we've been selling it to hospitals for over a decade. Over 100 million people are monitored with it every year, but we finally put it in a form factor where athletes can use it to push themselves to new heights and levels.
All right, well, Professor, just real quickly explain why this would be important to an athlete, or better yet, Dotsie, you tell me, because you used this when you were in London, so tell me why this gave you a little edge.
Well, absolutely. So athletics at the highest level, like you were just saying, the difference between winning and losing is under about 2%. And I found that my edge was in recovery, tracking my recovery, paying attention to how my body was doing, how hard it was working, how much it was flogged, as we say, in cycling. And I went to Olympics at 39.5. So recovery was essential for me. So I used O2 saturation every single morning to be able to have a gauge of how hard or easy I needed to go that day.
Right, and Joe, we're hearing some beeping now. You've got it right on your iPhone. So what are we hearing?
Well, you're hearing each pulse of Dotsie, and she's excited, obviously, and in the sun. So it's kind of higher than normal, her resting
This is not uncommon for women when they get near me. Their heart rate just shoots right up there.
Just with you, I know. Not with me. But this is her oxygen saturation. And from what I understand, Dotsie telling me, when her oxygen saturation is 97 or less, she decides not to push herself too hard and maybe go get a massage instead.
And Dotsie, I'm sorry, Dotsie, would it be the same for tennis players as far as recovery between matches, especially if they're playing doubles and singles?
Absolutely. We've been talking a lot about this week, and especially effective to use in between sets when they're having a rest, to use a deep breathing technique to heighten the oxygen saturation, lower the pulse rate, so they can go back out onto the court less anxious, less stressed, and ready to kick butt.
All right, and real quick before we go there, hanging around your chest is an actual Olympic silver medal. You know, I was really close to these one time.
Really?
No, I've just seen one before. I saw it on TV. Yeah, Joe, Dotsie, thank you so much. So there you have it, Jen, the very latest from the BNP Paribas Open, where again, the big story today, of course, the return of Serena Williams, but also cutting-edge technology being used to give those athletes just a little bit of an edge. Live in Indian Wells, Gino Lamont. Janet, back to you.
I was going to say, Gino, the way we play, at the level that we play tennis, we need one of those meters.
Yeah, I walked across the room and my heart rate went up like 20 beeps. So I'm not really sure I'm a good barometer for this.
We'll talk later about that, Gino. Thank you. We'll see you back here.
I'm sure it's my diet.
That's right. See you back here at 6.